Assalamu alaikum once again. In the same clothes, in the same hat, pakul. Okay? And we're recording this video about the past infinitive passive form, not active form. Which means the subject of your sentence should be the receiver of the action and not the doer of the action because it is passive form. And try to use a transitive or ditransitive verb as your main verb. Okay? The verb that can take object directly, or that can take two objects if it's double transitive verb. So the idea here is that something was done to the subject of the sentence in the past, and now the subject of the sentence, there's a present remark. I mean, the subject is, either the subject seems, to have done, to have been slapped. For example, something happened to the subject, and now at current time, the remark or the result of that action which was done to the subject, not done by the subject, exists at present time. I hope you got the point. Okay, so let me give you a few old examples, then explain the structures in the sentences there, and then again give you some more examples, and then it will be your turn to make examples. So he remembers to have been slapped by his father last year, last month, last week. You may even mention the time expression. He remembers now, present remark, that he was slapped by his father in the past. So he's the subject of the sentence, and the action was not done by the subject of the sentence, right? The action was done by his father. So most of the times the by phrase in these kind of sentences is not mentioned. And you know what the reason is? Because the focus is more on the receiver of the action and the action itself. Okay, not on the doer of the action. Have you got the point?
Yeah.
Okay, so look. He wishes not to have been trained by that organization. Like, the idea is that an organization trained him inappropriately, or for example, not in a proper way, so he couldn't learn what he expected. So now he wishes not to have been trained by that organization. Okay? She wishes, or he wishes not to have been given the wrong information. See, somebody gave him or her a kind of wrong information about something, and now he or she wishes, okay, at present time, present remark, that they were not given that kind of wrong information. So look at the first example. Subject, the first structure, plus infinitive verb form, plus to have been. And then main verb, which should be a transitive or ditransitive verb in third form in the rest of the sentence. One more thing over here, it's almost the same structure that we were using for the past infinitive passive form. Only the auxiliary, the helping verb been, is extra over here in the structure. And because it's passive form, so we need a form of to be verbs before, past participle or third form. So therefore, we need been in passive form. It's almost the same structure. So let's match the example with the structure. What is he according to the structure? Subject. What is remembers? Infinitive verb form in simple present tense. And to have been, helping verbs. Okay? For active form, only to have. And for passive form, to have been. And taken, a main verb and third or past participle form. And whatever comes after that, rest of the sentence. So now, who remembers? He remembers. To have been taken, the main verb is over here. Okay? Who did this action? Somebody else, right? So the subject is not the doer of this action. The subject is the receiver of this action. And there could be a by phrase. I've told you this many times. In these kind of sentences, the doer of the action is not very important. The focus is not on the doer of the action. Who did the action? Who took him abroad? Not important. But the fact that he was taken abroad, okay, that's important according to this sentence. So he remembers to have been taken abroad by his older brother. He remembers to have been taken abroad by his father, right? He was a young boy, and his father was going to China or India or, somewhere. And his father took him with him, right? So now he remembers to have been taken abroad by his father when he was a young boy. Okay? So the present remark of past action. He remembers present remark that he was taken abroad by somebody, past action. But the difference is here. According to the previous structures, the subject was the doer of the action. Here, the subject is the receiver of the action. Okay? And if you think that the person who took him abroad is also important to be mentioned, I mean, it's necessary to mention the person, who performed this action. So you may say, by his father, by his. And now look at the second structure. Subject plus a to be verb form, according to the tense, according to the subject, is in are, was, were, adjective, to have been, main verb third form, rest of the sentence. Now here's a question. Can we use all kind of adjectives according to the structure? No, we can't. Because there are different types of adjectives. Adjectives of quantity, adjectives of origin, adjectives of size, and color. Yes. Most commonly we use the adjectives which show a condition. Adjectives of condition. Like worried and sad and nervous and proud and happy and excited. Okay, these kind of adjectives. Adjectives of condition. Not even adjectives of quality. We have adjectives of quality, adjectives of origin, adjectives of quantity, adjectives of, size, color, okay? So different types of adjectives. So the adjectives of condition can be used in this case. The kind of adjectives which describe the condition of a person or thing, okay? So those kind of specific adjectives. Not all adjectives can be used in this case. So angry, for example, it shows the condition of the subject, right? So why? Because the idea is that someone did something in the past, okay, and now at present time that person is either happy about what he did in the past, or worried about what he did or what happened to. What happened to him or her, right? Because it's passive form, right? Or, for example, something happened to somebody and now that person is proud of it or happy about it or excited about it or worried about it or nervous about it. Got the point? Okay. So, let's match this example with the structure. What is she according to the structure? Subject. What is? Okay, to be verb form. Angry, adjective of condition. Okay. And not to have been, see, 4 words over here. You can make the idea in your sentence negative by adding the word not over here. If you want to make your whole sentence negative here, so is not. She is not. Okay? And then invited is main verb, third form, intransitive. Of course, that verb should be transitive or ditransitive, but not intransitive. And most of the times we use action verbs. There are exceptional cases. Sometimes we can use state verbs exceptionally, but most of the times we use action verbs in passive form. So, rest of the sentence. She is angry not to have been invited to the party. What's the idea over here? There was a party, and she was not invited to the party, right? It was a wedding party, for example, her relatives' wedding party, right? And they did not invite her, so she was not invited by them. Yes, by them to the party. And at present time now, she is angry about that. So she is angry, present remark. What? Present remark. That she was not invited to the party, past action. But this action was not done by the subject of the sentence. Because it's passive form, somebody else, did this action. Something happened to the subject of the sentence. Subject is not the doer of the action in this case. Okay. I hope everything is clear. Now, I want you to pay close attention while I'm giving you some more oral examples. And I want you to start thinking in English and try to make your own examples as well. So here, agree, disagree. Okay? He disagrees to have been trained by our enemies. He disagrees to have been trained by our enemies. For example, you can say, he claims to have been given a scholarship. He claims to have been given the Fulbright scholarship. For example, forget. He can't or she can't forget to have been disrespected in front of his friends or in front of her friends. To have been disrespected. See, somebody disrespected her. At present time now, she can't forget that. Somebody disrespected her or him, okay? So, again, the present remember past action. But don't forget, if your verb form here is in simple past tense, then you talk about the past remark of a past action. In here as well, was instead of is. If we use was, then we talk about the past remark of a past action. I hope it's clear. So now, adjectives. For example, you can say, he is worried to have been threatened by his enemies. He is worried to have been threatened by his enemies. Even I mentioned the by phrase because it's important here. We should know by whom that person was threatened, right? So he is worried about, not about, because if you use about, then you need to bring gerund form, right? He is worried about having been threatened. Remember? So now if you want to use the gerund form, you express the same idea in two different ways, using two different grammatical structures, right? So now he is proud to have been given a big prize. He is proud to have been given the Nobel Prize. Okay? An organization gave him the Nobel Prize in the past, and now he's proud of that. He is or she is excited. She is excited to have been called student of the month, or to have been elected or selected as the student of the month. So she was selected as the student of the month a few days ago or a week ago, and now she is proud of that. I'm kind of a little bit dizzy. I didn't have enough sleep last night. I hope I'm not making any mistakes. Am I making any mistakes?
No, you didn't.
Mr. Cameraman, am I making any mistakes? No? Okay. So don't be so quiet. Come on, man. Make some funny examples. See, if it were not for the respect of our Afghan culture, I would be giving you very, very funny and lovely examples. All right? But I do respect my culture, especially when there's a female student in the class, so you cannot make kind of naughty and funny examples about which the students can laugh for a few seconds, right? Come on. Yep.
In the name of Allah, she remembers to have been kicked out of the class by her.
So now, it's kind of slang, kicked out, to have been dropped out of, the school or something. Yeah.
And if Allah, he is shiftless to have been given a high position or a high score.
Yeah, to have been given a high position or a high score. Yep.
Rashid Khan is happy to have been given bonus
By?
by ICC.
Oh, it's not important, but if you think it's important, you can mention the by phrase. So Rashid Khan is happy to have been given bonus. Okay. Yep.
We forget to have been invited to the meeting.
Yeah, or we forgot to have been invited to the meeting.
He claims to have been to United States.
To have been to the United States, or to have. No, there's a problem. Now, if you say to have been to, first of all, been is a state verb. See, we need an action verb, right? And next, something should have happened to the subject of the sentence. The subject should not be the door of the action. Even if you say he remembers to have gone, I mean, no, it doesn't make sense. Okay, you can say he remembers to have been sent to the United States. So now it is passive form because he was sent, by somebody. Got it? So make more examples.
He's angry to have been given wrong information.
Yeah, he's angry to have been given the wrong information.
We are happy to have been taught by Sir Rahim.
We are happy to have been taught by, whoever, or Ahmad, Mahmoud, Rahim.
She said to have been told the bad news.
She is sad to have been told the bad news. Perfect.
Mighty Allah, he is angry to have been called son of Allah.
He is angry to have been called the son of Kandahari.
Kandaga.
Oh, the son of Kandaga? Who's Kandaga? He's sad to have been called Ghulam Jan. What? Okay, come on.
Yeah, Sir Bahadur is proud to have been called first Afghan champion.
The first Afghan champion. So that person is proud to have been called the first Afghan champion. Yeah. Ghazanfar was excited to have been called the first billionaire of Afghanistan. But he passed away because of COVID-19. I heard from some people that he was the first billionaire in Afghanistan. So what is our cameraman happy about, or excited about, or nervous about, or you can use these verbs, come on. You just use the second structure. Our cameraman seems to have been given a hard time yesterday by somebody, right? Right? Or he looks to have been given little money for his work by Mr. Sanjar. Okay, the marketing officer, the marketing manager. He seems to have been given little money for his work. So, can you give me an example? No, you can't? Okay, so this is, how it is. I mean, it's a kind of class that we sometimes make jokes, sometimes we make funny examples, sometimes. Because a teacher can be always just serious and angry and, so it's not a good idea. But yeah, yep.
He claims to have been given the highest position.
He claims to have been given the highest position.
Our cameraman is happy to have been given.
Actually, in fact, he's not the cameraman. He's the editor.
Editor, yeah.
Yeah, he's the owner of the company. But today, the cameraman was, I don't know, sick, or he had a problem, so he came today. Okay. So our today's cameraman, the temporary cameraman, is excited to have been told that he is a professional editor. He's gonna show his proficiency, when he's editing this video. And one day I would like to bring you over here, and so all the people on the YouTube channel can see you that he's the editor. Okay, come on, a few more examples.
He claims to have been labeled as a lazy boy.
He claims to have been labeled as a lazy boy or student. I think this much is enough, isn't it?
Yes.
Enough? Okay. So I hope that the English learners, the fans of Practical English brand, has also learned a lot of useful points from this video. And have a great time. Bye-bye.